another edition of Inside Indiana Softball. Will Chukerman, Michelle Gardner, as always. We're going to be breaking down the Michigan series, Ohio State coming up this weekend, and everything in between. So, Coach Gardner, I want to start off with the Michigan series. It didn't go according to, of course, Michigan, a very, very talented team, and you got to give them credit for how good they are.
Well, I mean, I give them a lot of credit. They hit the ball 1 through 9. You know, they were strong. I felt like we did some good things, but again, we just couldn't quite. Yeah. It's like every time we got something rolling, they put an end to it, and that's what, you know, good teams do.
And you talk about getting things rolling. In that first game, we had plenty of base runners in that game, and we left some in scoring position. So we were getting to the pitchers, but it just, that next step, we couldn't get through.
And, you know, we did. We had bases loaded. I mean, we had our table setter on. Bree had a phenomenal weekend, really, statistically. But we just couldn't quite score early. And, you know, we came out on Saturday and scored early and did some good things. But, you know, the bottom line is then we still have to be able to play the other parts of the game, and had a couple key errors and, you know, put the ball in the middle of the plate a little bit. I don't want to say in the middle of the plate, but because they have a strong hitting lineup, but, you know, just weren't, I don't think as sharp as we could have been.
And how, when you're getting the hits and then the hits in scoring position aren't happening, is there something mental in there? Is there something you have to tell the team, or is it just kind of you let them just relax because you know they're hitting well and it'll eventually come?
Well, I think they're, you know, when we have runners in scoring position, we're pressing a little bit. Like, we're doing all the right things to get there, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I have to do it. And, you know, we got to, I think, change that mindset a little bit. It can't be any different than any other at bat. You really have to just focus on, you know, staying relaxed, seeing the pitch and driving it. And, you know, I felt like we actually hit the ball well this weekend, and, you know, just wasn't enough.
You mentioned Bree just a second ago. She continues to have a strong year, and she does it against ranked teams. She's batting well over 300 against them. What is her approach? Does it change at all when she gets against ranked teams that shows that she has so much success? Or is it just she makes things simple and it works?
I think she's just really come into her own and in a comfort level that is allowing her to be successful and do the things that she needs to do. And, you know, after having such a long stint of injuries, it's just kind of taken a little while, but, you know, I really do think she's just that kind of player.
And then the shortstop on the other side of the diamond for the Wolverines, Sierra Romero, a fantastic player. And we've talked about the schedule that we've played this season against many ranked teams. We've seen many, many good players. Griffin Joyner at Kentucky, Lauren Hager at Florida. Where does Romero rank? Because she's now batting over 500 to 600 on base percentage. It's something to see.
Well, and she's a great hitter. And the truth of the matter is, I felt like there were a couple times where we had done some good things against her and didn't get a call here or there. But, you know, I mean, you can't put a lot on that. That kid is just talented, and I think she does rank up there with the top players in the country. So it's, you know, you're battling a lot of things, but that's pretty tough. So.
And I talked about last week how you were going up to your alma mater. You got to face your old coach and Coach Hutchins. What's it like to face her, having played for her, and what's she done for your career?
Well, I mean, she's a mentor. She's someone who, when, you know, things aren't quite right for me, I call, and, you know, I spend a lot of time talking to her because obviously she's been so successful. And, you know, you talk to her, I talk to her about, you know, different things, like what does she do here and there. And, you know, I just feel like she has had so much success. She's been doing this, you know, quite a while, but it's, you know, I still want to beat her. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you respect the person on the other side of the field, but, you know, I'm there to win. And while I did play in Michigan, I'm an Indiana Hoosier, and that's what I want to do, is beat Michigan.
Yeah, and now a team that you wanted to beat when you were in Ann Arbor, you called the team Ohio, I'm sure. Now they're Ohio State, I guess, that you're at Indiana. But you face a team 15-14 on the year. What are you guys going to have to do to get back on that winning track and make some get some home cooking, I should say?
Well, we just need to come out and play our game. We do need to have all facets of the game. You know, pitching has to be there. Obviously, defense, we need to cut out some of the errors that we're making, and we just need to stay relaxed at the plate and put up some runs, because I think we have that potential. It's just a matter of when it happens. And I've said this all along, this team is better than our record. It's just a matter of everything coming together and being healthy. I mean, that's been the key. I think for us is we've had a couple little nagging injuries here and there. You know, we need to be able to be healthy and go at them full force.
You were already on a 3-game win streak when you got to the Hoosier Classic to face your first 3 opponents, and then you win 3 at home. You face Kentucky, you play them hard. Something about the home schedule that you think this week could then lend hand to your team?
I certainly hope so. Obviously, this ballpark is new for us, and it is, I think, just now feeling like home.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for so many years we've been at the other field, and so when we went into it for the first time last year, it was kind of like being on the road almost. And now I think we've gotten a little better comfort level in it, and it is our home. And so I really feel like, you know, we are going to be much stronger at home going into this weekend. And I'm very grateful that we got those games in before Big Ten started.
And now on a less serious subject, on the bus ride home from Ann Arbor, you knew something like this was going to happen. I got to ask for your Frozen movie review. We watched that for the first couple hours. Your girls love the movie.
Yes.
And if you're going to be Roger Ebert for a second, what do you give Frozen on a scale of 1 to 5?
Oh my gosh, did you really just ask me that? I give it a 5. I loved it. The music's good. I thought the animation was great.
Mm-hmm.
There were really, there's a good storyline there. And so, you know, let it go.
Let it go, exactly. Frozen recap from this week in Inside Indiana Softball. Coach Gardner, thank you very much for joining me again this week.
You're welcome, Will.
Stay tuned next week for another episode. We'll talk to you then.